So, good evening. Those of you joining us online, those of you joining us here in the sanctuary, it's good to have you with us. My name's Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the Senior Minister, Spiritual Director here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, where we're coming to you live. We are located in the North San Fernando Valley, and we are a faith community who welcomes all who practice their beliefs and faith and love. So we're delighted to have you with us here. If this is your first time, please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, and you can join us every time we're live, but we'll get to that later. I also want to introduce our presider this evening, one of our practitioners here at the center, Rosalie Bate, who's longtime member, longtime practitioner, longtime youth instructor, and girl about town. So let's just start by taking a deep conscious breath as we bring down the lights here in the sanctuary. Just allow ourselves to use the exhale to settle. In fact, let's take another breath. Deep breath. And feel the release. As we just bring our attention to this moment, this eternal now moment, which we call lighting as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So as Rosalie lights the first candle, it is for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course, within our own hearts. And as Rosalie lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful, so grateful. And yes, we trust in God so deeply and completely that God is all there is. God is in every person, in every plant, in every place. We know that the Spirit of God is all around us, and it is absolutely here, right now, in our Center for Spiritual Living. And we just are so open-heartedly blessed for this presence to be here, for the love intelligence to guide us and govern us and show us the way so that we can be truly living in the truth, loving in the truth, and becoming who we truly are as a member of the true living, loving center of spiritual living. As we say yes to this truth, we say yes to the love, we say yes to the all-knowing wisdom, and we know that this is happening even as we speak. For together in this Center for Spiritual Living, we are all one with God. And together we know this is true. And so we can just simply say, and so it is.
And so it is.
So I had an interesting experience today that I'm going to bring here tonight. I listened to a lady named Dr. Margaret Paul, and she has a beautiful book out, and it's called 6 Secrets to the Profound Self-Love. And so I thought I would review those 6 secrets for profound self-love, because that seems to be one of the secrets of living in a beautiful way. So what she talks about first was that you have to move the energy from your head to your heart so you can take responsibility for your feelings. So you have all of your feelings there present for you. And when you focus on your heart, you learn that you actually can learn about the conscious choices that you have made, or the unconscious choices that you have made, that actually are living feelings in your heart. And the more conscious you can become of what happened in your heart and why those feelings are there, you can begin to learn how to take action. You ask yourself first, you ask your feelings first, how am I treating you? And what am I doing to make you feel whatever the feeling you are? You could feel, what am I doing to make you feel upset? And then even if you're angry at somebody else, those feelings come from your own heart, from your own feelings. And you have to learn personally what you're doing to cause those feelings. Then the next thing, number 4, is that you have to look for divine guidance to access the true feelings, your true nature, because we all are in a place where we have had past experiences that are pulling us one direction or pulling us another direction. But if we access those true feelings, our true divine self, we can actually step in a path in a way that we can love ourselves better. And then you have to actually do whatever the divine guidance you're getting tells you to do, of how you can love yourself more. And then finally, you really see how you feel because of your loving actions toward yourself. So that's the secrets, 6 secrets to profoundly loving yourself. And it seems to me that that's one of the things that we're doing here in the Center for Spiritual Living, is loving God and loving ourselves and loving our neighbors, and that we all can do this together. Thank you. Should we make announcements or just let it go? Okay, so we have some announcements. We have practitioners that are available. If you would like a 2-minute tune-up, or would you like to have a practitioner session? We also have an animal kinship meeting that's coming this coming Sunday. We have a Sangha, Sacred Art of Listening, which happens every Wednesday now. You can email Reverend Nicole for details. On October 8th, there will, after the second service, there will be potluck, brunch with the Rev. You can come sign up for your potluck dish in Sparks Hall or contact Melissa. And they save the date for November 4th for our fall festival. So there's a lot happening here at the center, and you're welcome to come to it all.
Thank you, Rosalie. Appreciate that. The 6 Steps to Self-Love by Margaret Paul. Yeah, I was having a... Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge that someone sent down a T-shirt. Can you focus in on this? This is a gift from the online community via Reverend Jessica, and it says, heavily meditated. Good? Yeah. Heavily meditated. I thought that was clever. So I want to thank Reverend Nancy for coming in, because last Wednesday I was heavily sedated, not meditated. So I needed to stay out of the car. No big deal, just had a little procedure done. They needed to put me to sleep for a bit, which is always an interesting observation of consciousness, right? So when they knock us out like that, where do we go, right? So 1 minute I'm talking to the doctor and he says, bye-bye. And the next minute, they're going, you have to get up now. And, it's so disorienting. And it's this thing called consciousness is an interesting thing to observe. Even still, scientists can't really tell us where the mind is. Right? So they used to think it was the electrical firings of the brain, but now they understand that that's not really so, that the whole body, the whole nervous system is working in concert to create this field of mind. A field of mind. Now, then you get, so that's one field of science, and then you get with the quantum scientists, and they talk about how at a quantum level, you can have particles that wiggle over here, and then they can wiggle over there simultaneously. So this presents us with some interesting observations, theoretically, because we've all had this experience of feeling the energetic of being around others and either being uplifted, neutral, or we have been around some who have an energetic that can really bring the lights down, let's just say. So there's something to this consciousness thing. There's something to this field that we are co-creating together. We see it when we get together in either smaller groups, like I like meditating with other people because of that. But if you think about what's going on in a football game, when you get 70,000 people, getting together, or a rock concert, or, even the Hollywood Bowl listening to, classical music, there is an energetic that's going on there that we're tapping into. And and now we have tying into what Rosalie was saying, now we're starting to see that, so the science of, somatic practice, which is paying attention to what's going on in our body. And it's been my experience, I don't know if it's just the women that I've dated or gotten to know deeper than a casual acquaintance, that they seem, generally speaking, much more in tune with their bodies than men. Would you say that's true, Moses? Generally, I think that's true. So we could, speculate as to why that is so. Well, let's just pretend that it is so. So this gal is onto something when she says, so the key to self-love is paying attention to what's going on and paying attention deeply to what's going on. Yet even then, these are hints. Right? And as I would imagine with a practice like that as we pay more attention to the way that we, particularly the things that we are reactive to, and then pay attention to the things that we respond rather than react, that maybe we can generalize that response, the ability to respond then becomes our default rather than to be reactive. And this is, I think this really is a form of self-love, because we're not creating any more chaos in our life when we're being responsive versus reactive. And this is one of the gifts of meditation as well. Because through focusing on the breath, we not only bring down the energetic of the biological body, but we're also creating space within the thought. So bringing it back to consciousness. So in fact, let's play around with this tonight. So we focus on the breath to still the mind, and then see if you can have a sense of space within your body. Right? See if you can play around with the idea that as you're focusing your breath, bring your attention to your toe and your left ear at the same time. And see if you can get a sense of the space that's within that. Of course, in the Hindu tradition where they've been meditating for millennia, they've experimented with all kinds of ways to do this. But maybe we can play around with that a little bit. One of the other things that meditation helps us deal with, and I think self-love, just tying it in to what Rosalie was sharing, is that we can release the attachment to be certain about everything that's going on. So last night we had a Science of Mind class where we had a short meditation, and varying degrees of people with different kinds of practices. But part of what's going on in meditation, of course, is, you get snagged by a thought, and one of those thoughts can be, what's supposed to be happening? What's going on? What's happening next? How much time has gone by? Why isn't it over yet? Right? So we can get into this whole, what we call monkey mind, right? And that's totally normal, by the way. And it's not to, we can find plenty of things to judge ourselves about should we choose to. Again, bringing about the self-love thing. Let's try not to judge our meditations. Let's just acknowledge and celebrate the fact that we're doing it, right? That we're taking the time to sit, to be still, and to allow, to be okay with the uncertainty, and to be okay with whatever presents itself. And so tonight's poem is entitled Certainty. And this is from a poet that I'm not familiar with, named Tukaram, or Tukaram, a 17th century Indian poet who is apparently quite well known in the Hindu tradition. But so this is his poem, Certainty. Certainty undermines one's power and turns happiness into a long shot. Certainty confines. Dears, there is nothing in your life that will not change, especially all your ideas of God. Look what the insanity of righteous knowledge can do. Crusade and maim thousands in wanting to convert that which is already gold into gold. Certainty can become an illness that creates hate and greed. God once said to Tuka, "Even I am ever changing. I am ever beyond myself. What I may once have put my seal upon may longer be the greatest truth." God once said to Tuka, "Even I am ever changing. I am ever beyond myself. What I may have once put my seal upon may no longer be the greatest truth." So, 17th century. How about that? All right, so we get a little extra time tonight. We might actually get out a little early. So what do you say we just start by checking our seat, uncrossing our legs, our arms, getting all our jiggles and wiggles out, just taking a deep conscious breath and release. And on that release, we're just allowing the whole body just to anchor into the seat. And whether you're in a chair or on the cushion, just allow the seat to be the metaphor of being supported by the universe in this moment. Bringing our attention to the movement of the breath. That's all we do. Paying attention to the exhale. Paying attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril. Tummy rises and falls easily and naturally. And the mind begins to still. Should we get hooked by a thought, and the thought becomes a thread, and the thread becomes a conversation, and then we notice, oh, thinking. So we can just simply take a deep breath and exhale and release that. Then just bring our attention back to the movement of the breath in the nostril. And see if you can detect the movement of the breath on your upper lip. Taking one more deep breath and release. Let the shoulders drop. Let your face drop. Now bring your attention to the exhale as we move into the silence now for about 15 minutes or so. As we bring our attention gently back into the room, staying with the breath. Focusing now on the inhale. Knowing this thing called consciousness is a field of mind, a field of love, a field of light that is everywhere present. So with each in-breath, we are breathing in spirit stuff. Keeping our attention on the inhale, we imagine at the center of our heart the flame of the divine. Fanning this flame with each breath. This light growing in brilliance, to a ball of light now. Brilliant, radiant ball of flame. A light that illuminates rather than consumes. Staying with the breath, this ball of light now expanding to a small globe of light in the chest center, expanding side to side, front to back, top to bottom. Focusing our breath on the in-breath now. Feel the heart center expanding now with each in-breath as this field of light now continues to expand and to grow, extending beyond the body, torso, again front to back, side to side, top to bottom. We're now sitting in this field of light and love. Staying with the breath, expanding the borders of this field of light and love, commingling now with our friends joining us here in the sanctuary, staying with the breath, extending even to those joining us online. We're just really feeling a sense of expansiveness that has light and love and energetic of peace and serenity, of harmony. Using the breath, we've attuned ourselves to this field of light and love. We feel a connectedness with each other. So now we imagine in front of us then an image, a silhouette, if you will, a light body in front of us. And just imagine someone whom we hold in high esteem. Friend, a child, a spouse, Spirit itself. So whatever that light body is now, we're going to just envelope it in this field of light and love. feeling an extension of the heart to this other, and just feeling in a deep way the love that we have for this person, for this entity, whatever it is for you. Again, staying with the in-breath. Feel the expansiveness in this field of light and love, and now imagine now this being looking back at you now and loving you in return in this same way, in this beautiful circulation, the energetic of love and light, that there is a resonance, a vibration, a lifting, a shifting happening even now, to with whatever challenges or conditions, aggravations, concerns are simply dissolving away into this light and love. And what is left is a body that is strong, resilient, flexible, a heart that is open so much that it has an overflow, that is extending into the farthest aspects of this experience we know to be life, that we're just allowing our heart to open up and to feel the love and to be the love and to allow compassion and loving kindness to just wash all over ourselves, and just to extend. So from this place of conscious unity with ourselves and with each other, let us know together then that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life of the divine in expressing now. It is expressing right now. The infinite heart, the infinite mind, the creative impulse of life is both moving in and through us, extending and expressing as us, moving in and through as all of this life experience, that the spirit is simply playing hide and seek with itself. And so we see its joyful image popping up all over the place. This brings us a sense of joy, of mirth even, as we allow this image of the divine as the trickster to bring a sense of joy and lightness into our life experience. And so in this way, we are feeling a sense of healing, that whatever we have brought to the evening, now that we know that vibrationally this has been shifted and lifted, that we are leaving here feeling a sense of restoration, of peace, and of harmony. So we take a deep breath and we just release it. So for those of us here in the sanctuary, that we leave here this evening, arriving to our homes in safety and in good order, that as we make our ways, as we all make our ways through the rest of this evening, going through our nightly routine, making our way to our beds, as the head hits the pillow, we drift off easily to sleep, sleeping deeply, restfully, dreaming sweet dreams, that we awaken in the morning feeling fully rested, restored, with a sense of vim and vigor and a zest and an excitement for life. So we just release it. And exhale, and on that release, we're just releasing this whole experience this evening, all the cares, concerns that we came here, we're just releasing it to that aspect of the mind, of the spirit that knows only to say yes. So we just release it now. The deep sense of gratitude and confidence, knowing it's done, that it's all so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So thank you for joining us tonight. So if you are new, as I said, hit that subscribe button and a notification bell. If you do that, then you'll get a little nudge that at 10:30 here on Sunday mornings we have a full program with music with Jason Goldstein this week, and our presiders to raise you in prayer. I'll have some kind of a message that hasn't been constructed yet. And a lot of really nice people who think probably a lot like you do. So we come together and share our joy in knowing that there is a power for good in the universe available to everyone, and we can use it and use it consciously. So until then, know that you are loved. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you next time.